those that don't know, on this YouTube channel, we talk about real estate investing, primarily capital strategy and operations as it pertains to investing in real estate, placing capital, renovation projects, management, and so forth. And in today's session, I just want to kind of do a general overview for those who are actively involved. You might be selling as a real estate agent, or perhaps deal finding, wholesaling. You might even be a mortgage broker or a lender, or you might even be a contractor, property manager, or an investor, or someone who works with real estate investors. With it being third quarter 2025, today is Monday, September 15th. There have been some massive shifts and changes in the economy and in real estate in general, as it comes to, as it pertains to regulation, interest rates, of course, inventory, and so forth. So for my audience out there, I want to encourage y'all to continue to plug in, continue looking for opportunities, looking for capital and so forth, because it's critical for us to be able to move forward as investors, as business owners, as entrepreneurs and service providers. And so a big thing, of course, I talk about is capital and real estate, and things in a certain regard have gotten more challenging for real estate investors, especially when it comes to the use of other people's money and private lending, private equity, and then the different types of mortgages for real estate investors. And so hopefully this will encourage and inspire some of y'all to dig in, continue moving forward, and kind of explore what your end game is or what your long-term goals are, because I think in general, real estate, of course the mortgages and investing for the most part is meant to be long-term. And I know me and some of my clients, partners, associates, and so forth can get carried away in the flurry, doing the hustle and bustle and finding opportunities, and we tend to get fixated on the short term, how we can, get into a deal and quickly assign it or resell it, or perhaps quickly get into an opportunity and maybe renovate and resell a property, or perhaps, turn your money quickly. But I bring that up because it's becoming, or has gotten quite a lot more challenging to be able to make those shorter transactions work. And so I want investors to definitely look long term, and to think about your investment strategy along with the capital and the operations, of course, and how we are using the different types of leverage and the short-term debt, because things are different. And so for those seasoned investors, you already kind of know what it is. For the new individuals, or perhaps newer investors who are trying to get in, or they're trying to grow, a huge important thing is to think about why we are doing all of this, because a lot of times we get into a deal and we are using maybe a hard money loan, and then we may end up needing to source additional capital over and above that, which could be private equity, or it could be a secondary loan. And then at the end of that cycle, or at the end of that project, or maybe at the end of a year or 2 or 3 years, there may not be any profits there. Hopefully there is some cash flow. Hopefully there are some profits for the long run. But I really kind of, besides just inspiring, encouraging, and educating, I want to caution investors out there, because me and my team, my associates, some of y'all know my background, me growing up in the industry, we have been able to see some cycles throughout the years. And what has worked the best for us, of course, is our long-term investments. Our specialty is seller finance, creative real estate transactions, and that has stood the test of time. And so the short-term transactions, whether it's wholesale, fix and flip, it seems to be like there are certain windows of opportunity where we can capitalize on those short-term flips or quick turn, and then those can quickly go away. And so it's important to, again, like I mentioned before, plug in, tap in, definitely, check out some of my previous videos where I take a deeper dive into those things and really, think about what you're doing. It's something that me and my partners and clients have been forced to do as we are, going through the shifts and the cycles, as we are looking at our numbers and doing our tax returns and looking at our debt. It's become critical to really be strategic, of course, and really stay plugged in with capital sources, mentors, and so forth. So on today's video, I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to talk about, but I really just want to emphasize and encourage y'all to definitely look long term. If you have a need with a real estate need of some type in the Kansas City area, feel free to reach out to us, okay? And especially when it comes to seller financing and the use of capital, private equity, the different types of funding and financing that's available. That's a big thing that I have been emphasizing and taken a deeper dive into, and helped, numerous investors with sourcing and securing capital, and then being able to, not only get into a deal, but to get through that process, and then towards, the end of that cycle, or maybe 6-month, year-long, 2 or 3 year period, being able to restructure things as needed. Because I think a lot of investors are going through that process now, where, it's the combination of things that I mentioned before: interest rates, economic factors, and even political factors that are out of our control. And, we really got to plug in, stay grounded, 10 toes down, and not be afraid to reach out for assistance, guidance, and so forth. And so if you have a financing need, if you're an investor and you are looking to acquire property, definitely reach out to me. I'm plugged in with a number of different funding sources, from the short-term debt to the long-term debt, lines of credit, business credit as well. And that's what's really helped me and my partners to grow our investing enterprise and grow our investment portfolios as well. And so that's a key part of what I've been doing the last few years as well, besides, balancing out my own portfolio. A key focus has been helping investors to source and secure capital. So I'm going to leave it at that. Stay tuned for future videos. Again, it's Luther Wilson III, Upside Property Services. We're here in the Kansas City area, of course, moving and shaking if you have a need. But again, if you're investing and you're looking for capital, or to restructure things, or just want to kind of strategize about, funding and financing, seller financing, creative financing, definitely reach out. All right, y'all, take care. Peace.